Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a couple of Kubeys I want to do first impressions on. So, these are both coming in from Jared over at Neves Knives. Big thank you to him. And I thought I'd kind of put them together because, well, I don't want to do a million videos just because I can. And they're kind of related in a sense. And I just thought it made sense. This is the KU322, and this is the KU122. Now, I don't know the names of them, if they have names. I may mix them up at some point. Just remember, 122, 322, okay? So let's start off with the 122. You'll see here it has these kind of tan green, I guess tan scales. I'm sure it comes in the black, probably a black on black, and maybe one other option, I don't know. It is literally the same construction as this knife. It's also the same as this Kubey I recently reviewed. Oh no, actually this one's got nested liners, my apologies. But I did want to use this for size comparison. This is the Kubey KU321, designed by my buddy Colin over at CM Knife Designs. And let's see. I got these all decked out in lefty clip. There we go. Line up the pivots. And there you go. So the 122 and the 321 are very similar in size. It's a little bit longer down here on the 122. In person, it's actually like minuscule. And then your 322 is a big boy. That's a full-size knife, okay? So I just wanted to show those three together. They've all kind of come out around the same time. And they're all pretty much awesome. Like, it is very hard for me to say negative things about these knives. I really, really like them. I do have some rather big downsides, maybe just one, which is, it's kind of a combination blade steel and finish. So if I forget to get to that, D2 bead blast, that's a big no-no, man, especially in my world, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so it's a relatively smallish size knife. I have a large glove size hand. It does fit my hand. It's just like just barely fits my hand, so it's okay, but there's nothing to really choke up on. This is a little bit dangerous. You could do it in a pinch, or if you like need to do something a little more detailed and you weren't worried about, you know, climbing up on that edge. You do have a decent kind of pinch grip here. The tip kind of goes up, and that's, I don't like knives that do that, like the Koenig Goblin, the half track. A lot of knives, they like doing that for some reason, but for me, I don't want the tip higher than it needs to be. The beauty of a Warney is that it's lower, right? This isn't really a true Warney, I don't think. I think there's a little belly in there. But you're making me do this when you didn't have to. It could have been a straight to here, and I could just be bang right in there. But you have a good pinch grip. The action on these is just incredible. I have to say, out of all three of these, so from, I'll do it this way. This is kind of how the detents are lined up. You have light, medium, you have medium, perfect, and you have strong. Medium strong, if you want to call it that. So this one, it works perfectly with the reverse flick. You just got to give it a little gas. I mean, you can technically fail it, but it's done this way because it has a front flipper. So it makes sense that it's like this, and I love it. I'm just saying it's a light detent, medium light. This is medium perfect. This is like when you order your steak and it just comes absolutely perfect. It's not bleeding, but it's got some pink in it, and you're really, really going to enjoy it. Not overcooked, not underdone, and it's just absolute money. Just has this satisfaction to it when pop. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it better. Obviously, I'm, you know, a detent whore, but like, this is more satisfying than this, even though this one has a stronger detent. And basically, it's because it's making me put just enough pressure to pop it out. And then it flies out, so I get the satisfaction of the flick, but I don't get any downside, right? Whereas on this guy, I get a very satisfying flick, but the downside is it's a little bit stiff. So if I do it, 20 times in a row, it can hurt my finger a little bit, or I might miss it occasionally because it's just a little stiffer, right? It doesn't mean this is not good. This is also an excellent detent. This one is just better. Like, I'm in love with this detent. Yeah, it's literally perfect. So Kubey absolutely nailed it on that. There's a little bit of play. If these were my knives, I would just Loctite the pivots where I wanted them, let them sit a day. That's what I did with this. Hasn't walked one time. It's perfect. So that's an easy fix, if you want to call it. It's not really even a problem. You do not have nested liners. So you have G10 and steel construction. And then you have this deep carry clip that they seem to put on everything these days. And they do not recess the clip, which sucks because, well, it catches, right? So we'll do the up close look. There's your liners and your scales. You can see how the clip sits up here. When you put these in your pocket, it catches right there every single time. And then you have to like shove it deeper in your pocket to get all the way. And sometimes it still doesn't want to go. Jared Neve told me that the Civivi clips, the deep carry Civivi budget clip, fits these knives. And I guess he was saying it fits better. He thought these are a little tight. So the other ones, the Civivi ones, fit and they go in pocket better, essentially, is what he's saying. You just have to make sure you use these Kubey, screws. And I just noticed, usually, I have to double check how it came out of the box. Oh, no, I can tell. So one weird thing is that the hardware construction is different. So you have the two T6s, one T6 down here, and then a T8 here that goes into that barrel spacer. On this one, because there's no barrel spacer. See that? You don't have that extra barrel spacer back there where the clip is. So there's no need for that extra T8. I was going to say, did I lose it or something? This one also has that T8. See, there's a barrel there. Okay, got it. Sorry, I was worried I lost Jared's screw. But you just have the two T6s that you flip. So that's actually better. And then you have T8 on the rest of the hardware. Pivot looks like it's T8 on this one. I think it's T10 on this guy. Yeah, you can see the difference. So this is a 122, so maybe it's just older, and that's why it's got a little bit of a different construction than these two do. These are T10s and then T8 on the hardware. Anyway, moving on, there's your pivot. I love the KB pivot. It is actually one of my favorite pivot designs. Here's the blade. I did open some packages with this, so if there's any schmutz on there, it's because of that. Nice, pretty straight edge. I think there's a little belly in there. I love the hole shape on this. Very unique. There's your jimping. Just a little bit of grip. Not much, but it works. There's the spine. You can see internal milling in there on both sides, which is cool. And there's your lockup. Very nice lockup. Very easy disengagement. No issues getting in there left-handed or right-handed. Very, very simple. So this KU122 is awesome. I really, really like it. The freaking detent makes this knife. You can thumb flick it. You can reverse flick it. If you want to get your ring finger in there, you can ring finger flick it. Can I pinky flick it? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to get it. But you can slow roll it out. I mean, you have lots of options. I'm not much for this move, but you could probably do it pretty easy. And then you have a reverse grip that sucks because it's just not enough handle for it. But it does have a good angle here where your thumb lands. If you want to go Friday night gas station fighting, you can do that. Closing action is the worst on this knife out of the three Kubeys I have here. But I could probably tune it if I wanted to. Took it apart, cleaned it, do all that shit, and it would probably be dropping. But I mean, it's very, very smooth and it's almost drop shut. So I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not as good as the other two. And that possibly is because of this very thin blade. Very excellent blade. This is probably the best cutter out of the three, though. So there's your benefit. All right. This is the KU322, a.k.a. the Budget Arius. So, of course, it looks like a Koenig Arius. That's why I call it that. I would say if we're talking about everybody, this may possibly now be Budget Knife of the Year. It was this knife possibly until this showed up. I think for me, I don't know. We'll see. I do really, really love the Royal. It's a little more pocketable. I like the nested liners. I like the weight on it a little better, but the flick is a little better on this guy. And I don't know if I love the front flipper over the actual flipper. This does not drop shut, but man, is it close. This guillotine. Again, D10 is a little bit stiffer on this guy, but I'm okay with that. And it's just going to get better as time goes on. You can see, you can see the action and you get a choil. I just think this guy probably wins it. I don't own one of these, so you know, we'll have to see. I'm going to have to pick one up before I do the Knife of the Year stuff. But yeah, it fills your hand a little more because it's a little taller, a little wider. Just very, very sturdy in hand. Excellent ergonomics on this knife. Yeah, I know why Jared loves it. He was saying he hopes they make a premium titanium version. I kind of hope they do that, but they do like carbon fiber and M390 or something, because titanium, I just think it would be too much like an Arius at that point. You know, I guess they don't care. I don't know who cares about that, but I do kind of, you know. The cool thing about this compared to an Arius is you have the choil and the flipper, where the Arius has like a flipperless one that has the choil, right? On this, you get both. And that flipper, guys, man, is it dialed. Like, they just absolutely nailed it. Yes, I can fail it. Oh, I mean, I could fail it earlier. Yeah, so I can't fail it now, which is awesome. And then you have that little bit of a stiffer flick because they dialed the D10 for the flipper. Perfect sense. Works excellent. Great edge on this guy. Ergos, fantastic. Just an excellent knife. Let's zoom in on this guy. Here's your G10. Same shitty clip. KB logo. There's your hole and your blade. Cool little fuller right here. It doesn't really work for anything, but it's your D2 logo. Just excellent blade. That's from the clip. I reversed them, obviously. Stupid lanyard hole. Sorry, I mean that lanyard hole for you guys. Again, not nested liners. How cool would this thing be if they did? Yeah, he's right. If they do a premium one, it's going to be game over. Very, very solid lockup. I don't see any issue with that. Spine, excellent milling. It does have some weight to it, but and jimping right there is perfect. Anything else I want to show you? It does occasionally sound like there's some concrete in it or something. It has this really weird sound occasionally. I think there might just be something in the bearings, but I don't. It doesn't happen enough for it to bother me right now, and I don't want to mess with Jared's knife. It is a little weighty compared to the other two, but it's not heavy for its size or anything. It's absolutely a beautiful knife, an excellent knife, and so is the 122. Now, this one actually feels light for its size, though. So these are a great pair right here, and if you're looking to pick up 3 amazing knives and like spend $50, let's say you could get all these at White Mountain Knives and use my code LEFTY10. If you got them all in your cart and drop the code in, you probably would spend maybe $150 for, I mean, this would keep you busy for months. Fidgeting, cutting, all that stuff. Excellent ergos. You have a front flipper with the reverse flick. You have just an excellent reverse flick. Then you have a reverse flick with an excellent flipper. All different size knives. You have choil, no choil. You have slicer. You know, you just, it would be awesome, right? If you had all three of these, maybe just, if the clip was a little better, it'd be perfect. Other complaint on all three of these, D2 with a bead blast. It's just dumb. It literally is just dumb to do a bead blast with D2. I don't know why Kubey is doing that. It's obviously, I know why they're doing it. It's the cheapest way to get a knife out the door. If they do a bead blast and D2, which is their cheapest steel they can get that people will buy, and a bead blast is so easy for them, I guess, that it makes it where they can get it out the door and sell it for $60. So I get it. But having a steel that rusts easily and putting a bead blast on it, which makes steel rust easier, is just dumb, in my opinion. This knife right here showed up from Neves Knives with rust. There's a rust spot right here, and there was some rusting in the fuller. I cleaned it all out. I got it out. It's not a big deal. It's surface rust. But, like, just shipping the knife in, like, 50-degree weather did that. So imagine a summer with this knife somewhere, like, that's humid, right? Or in my freaking ass juice pocket. So I don't know. Those are my biggest complaints, are the D2 and the bead blast and the clip. Other than that, home runs. KU122, KU322. I may follow up with full reviews on these, but I feel like I just went over like everything on these knives. So I may also not do that. But absolutely a pleasure with these. I'm enjoying carrying these in my front left pocket, just having a blast. So thanks, Jared, for sending these along. I'm really starting to enjoy Kubey right now. And I hope that they make basically all of these in a premium model. This one, not so much, even though the D10's perfect. The overall, just like ergos and size are not for me in the blade shape. These two I would buy 100% in a premium version. So that's it, guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I love you all, and I will catch you later.